Hello everyone, Sloth from Sloth and Moose here with another Starcraft 2 commentary. I haven't brought y'all one in a while. I have been playing my ass off lately, to put it the nice way. Finally made it to Diamond, and now working towards Masters as best I can. So, this is against a rank 2 Diamond player, SoSss. I mean, he's a typical Protoss. You'll see what he does. I mean, you know, what do all Protoss do? They don't forgate anymore, not at this level. I mean, Diamond, everyone likes to expand, get on at least 2 base. So, we will see how this goes. Let me check my sound real quick. I apologize. Yeah, turn it down a little bit. Sitting here listening to my headphones, and it was like about to blow my ears out. So, don't know how it was for y'all. So, map is going to be Backwater Gulch, I believe. If I'm right on that, then y'all owe me big time. And David Show is online. I've never even actually talked to that guy. I just added him because he was part of a tournament or something I was in once. So, piling at the bottom normally means forge, fast expand. Or he could just start building his gateways down there. That's a little bit more of a risky type deal, but more than likely we'll see the forge. Actually, we will see the forge because I just played this game, so I know what happens. So, there's the forge. Overlord Scout going this way. Send a drone scout out at about 13 or 14. I think I make my 13th egg, and then just, you know, send him out across the map. He's going to have his probe coming into my base now. This Overlord will spot it, as always, your second Overlord against Protoss or Terran. Zerg, it doesn't really matter, because, I mean, they're not going to try and block your expansion unless, well, normally you don't fast expand anyway against Zerg, so it doesn't really matter. So, I'm going to have this Overlord here, just going to be hanging out over this probe. You see I am positioning him over the probe. If the probe moves to the back of the base, there goes my Overlord, he'll go with him. So, pretty much just watching for the cannon, and of course that could happen. You could have the pylon and the trying to block my expansion, but I have decided 14 gas, 14 pool. It just suits me better. I hate getting bunker rushed. I hate getting cannon rushed. So 14 gas, 14 pool, speedling into expansion is a really strong build for me. I have had the most success with it, so that is what I've stuck with. I'm getting my first queen as well as Zergling speed, pulling those drones off of gas. You need those extra 3 on minerals for this hatchery that is going to inevitably go down. First photon cannon and gateway coming up, and you can see, I mean, there are a few different things you can do against this. You can try a Zergling all in and just try and run past this all. I mean, I did scout. Let's see what I see real quick. I do see like this right here. I do see that first cannon and the gateway going down. I did kill his probe scout right there. But you do see, I did see the first cannon, so he does have a second cannon. But I mean, one thing you can do, of course, is you can just make a ton of Zerglings, try and run past this wall and into the main and kill a bunch of probes before he can really do anything with this. I mean, granted there are 2 photon cannons here, but 2 photon cannons are way too slow to be able to kill about 20, 25 Zerglings. So you can do that, or you can choose to do whatever you want, really. I mean, you can expand, you can play off 2 base, even, you'll see what I'll do here in a second, because I'm a pro and everything. But now he does have these 2 zealots here, so there is a small window of time that you can attack with like a big Zergling type deal, but I would say you'd have to have your 15 hatch down to do that. You just don't really have the larva count off 1 base for this, and you do see I am getting really oversaturated, just constantly pumping the drones units. I have 22 to his 16 workers, so doing pretty good right now considering he is doing an economical build. Protosses, this is a really big time where they're kind of scared. I mean, you know, they do have these 2 photons. I don't know if he threw down a 3rd one, but we will see if he throws down a 3rd. And but yeah, it's a really, really scary time for him. I'm going to go ahead and get my Roach Horn. It's pretty much a necessity versus Protoss, as everyone knows. You can go Ling Muta, but Mutas, I don't like them against Protoss. I mean, they're decent. They're pretty good against Stalkers, considering that Stalkers can attack everything and are the core unit. But don't like Mutas and Lings. Lings aren't good against Colossus. Sentries just trump Lings like they ain't nothing. Hey, comes over here, sees my Lings. I decided to get off the tower. When he gets off the tower, come over to this tower. Lings are a little bit faster than Zealots, believe it or not. I did expect him to push in with these 3 Zealots and Yeah, did expect him to push in with those 3 zealots, so you do see I produced about 12 lings right there. 12 lings should do perfectly fine versus zealots with halfway micro. He is going to push up, it looks like, to my ramp. I could have got a surround right here, but actually bypassed them. Did not see them when I ran by. And you do see that I threw down my 3rd expansion. And you are going to see a hefty drone transfer, about 15 drones, and that's going to leave about 15, 16, 17 at my main. And my natural's going to get pretty well saturated, and I mean, at this point, I mean, I am supply blocking myself and making 4 overlords. You can tell that I'm pro. But you will see I surround these zealots. A little bit of micro. You're not going to lose that many lings. We'll see how many I lose. 15 lings, and there he goes. Pretty good surround right there. And then you just kind of pull a few back. You can kind of circle them back and forth. Pull them back again. So I only lost about 5 lings to their 3 zealots. Very cost-effective battle right there for me. And those 3 zealots were really the only units he had. I mean, 2 photon cannons give Protoss way too much security. I mean, he's feeling so good right now because he has the 2nd base up. But he's not really doing all that much. He has a photon cannon in the back, has not scouted anything that I have. If you do this build as a Protoss, I would recommend getting an observer pretty much as fast as you possibly can so you don't have to waste money like this. I mean, this is necessary, of course, if I go mutas, but he doesn't know if I'm going mutas or not, so he has to get them. And not getting any in the natural, so this would be a good place for mutas, actually. But you can see I am not going the muta route. I am going to go the pretty standard roach route. Going to be getting double upgrades pretty much the entire game. You do see 1-1 already on the way. Very low saturated at my main. I am starting to fall behind a little bit in the harvester count. Well, not falling behind, but you know, he's catching up, in other words. But I am making 11 drones, so that should catch me up pretty well. So should just keep your injects up, guys. This is what I do. I don't think anybody else really uses this as their inject. A lot of people use the keeping every hatchery on 4, 5-5, keep your queen and your hatch, 5-5 V-click, 6-6 V-click, blah blah blah, and then there's the backspace method and a few more. But this has been the best for me just simply because I've had my hatchery on 2 pretty much the entire longevity of the time that I've been playing Starcraft 2. I keep all of my hatcheries on 2, and I keep all of my queens on 3, and I just go on the mini-map. You will see right here, 3 queens, 3 hatcheries. So I'll just click 1, and then I'll click on the mini-map, V-click, V-click, V-click. You get what I'm saying? Probably not, but anyway, that's what I do. I do have both these Zelnaga towers held, as well as a Zergling going back and forth. And right here, it looks like he is going for level 1 upgrades. Throwing down a lot of buildings, was he got just a ton of gateways. Hydras would have been pretty good against this. We shall see, though. This is Twilight Council as well as another forge, so he's going to be also going for double upgrades, but mine are going to be way far ahead of his. The units tab, 61 drones to 46, and this is what Protoss make the mistake of doing the majority of the time. They'll, especially at this level, at about Diamond, where they're just not sure what to do. He does have a hallucinated Phoenix. I didn't even see that the entire game. But they'll get on this 2 base, and they'll just feel so comfortable that they're on 2 base, that they have all these buildings up and running. And this whole time, I've been on 3 base for about the past 3 or 4 minutes, and he's so far behind at this point. I have so many upgrades on the way. I have Burrow, as well as tunneling claws, so I'll be able to have my roaches. I have my hive on the way. You see the infestation pit down over here, and just everything's going right for me right now because he feels so comfortable. He just isn't making any type of timing push. He's not doing anything at this point. I have started to produce roaches in case of that timing push. Overseer right here, just that's simply for DTs. If it comes in, I mean, I should be able to pick them off pretty easy. I probably could use spores and spawns because my minerals should start getting out of control here in a little bit. Simply because I will be getting maxed out relatively quickly. 2-2 already on the way. It's going to give me such an advantage. Because he feels so comfortable. And it does look like he wants to push out and take a 3rd right here, but it is way behind mine. And at this point, I could even take a 3rd. I have 700 floating minerals. Those should be made into roaches, actually. Greater Spire should be on the way. Greater Spire, believe it or not, Broodlords are pretty darn good against anything. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of behind, producing a lot of overlords. There goes my roaches. There's the inject. Where's the greater spire? Come on now. Come on, Sloth. This is like an extra minute you could have had broodlords. But whatever. Whatever. There it is. Finally got it. As well as 13 more roaches. And a lot of people will max themselves out, and when I say a lot of people, I also mean myself. So only producing 3 corruptors. This is simply because I'm planning on pushing out with a, well, I mean, a max 200 roach army, and if he has Colossus, I'm going to need those corruptors. But you will see what I do here, and you will see my hotkeys as well. I use 3, 4, and 5 for my army. I don't know what y'all use. A lot of people use 1, 2, and 3, but as I said, my hatchery is on 4 and my queen's on 1. But 3, that's where all my roaches are going to be, and then of course corruptors will be on 4, so on and so forth. I did have a scout. Let's see if he killed my overseer already. I did have a scout go in here, see all of these buildings, just seeing that he was getting ready to start a lot of unit production. And decided, hey, I might as well go see if he has this 3rd. I did have a Zergling patrolling back and forth between this base and this base pretty much the entire game. And I am now deciding to take a 4th. Going ahead and take them, both of them gases. Anytime you take a 4th or a 5th base, the only thing you're really going to need from them at first is the double gas. I mean, see, I'm not quite mined out in my main, not quite mined out in my natural, not even close actually. And then of course my 3rd is just booming with minerals. And I am going to move in right here. But like I said, the gas is the most important thing you can get from a 3rd, 4th, 5th, any base over 3. The gas is what you're going to need, even on your 3rd base. But here, going to move in, going to pick off a couple gateways. I'm not sure if he finishes them or cancels them or not. I do burrow and get on out of there. You will see him waste a storm here in a second. I probably should have moved up on this high ground, killed this pylon, because he has no high ground advantage over here. Could have picked off a lot. That was kind of a wasted storm. Didn't hit much. Hit 2 or 3 roaches. Got kind of lucky right there. And he's kind of scared at this point. I am going to move up this ramp into his natural. Pick off this level 3 upgrades. Anytime you can pick up a forge, especially if it is researching something, it's a big deal. Take these rocks just to give me another angle to attack at. And as this is going on, I'm also producing corruptors. As I'm losing roaches, I'm making corruptors in their place. 3-3 on the way for me, for my roaches. And should be injecting, because injecting is good. Inject! Felt like silent. Oh man, I really didn't even mean to do that, but at least I didn't say the B word. I didn't say the B word, guys. Probably should transfer some drones to this expansion just because my main is about to get mined out. But I am transferring them to this expansion, so that's good. I think I actually transferred them from this expansion, which wasn't the smartest idea. Anyway, quite a few corruptors over here now. I've got 9. Gonna move in right here. I don't care if I lose this army. It's gonna be pretty cost effective whatever I do. You do see roaches regen health pretty quick even against storms. I'm gonna lose pretty much all of these roaches, but I'm gonna be able to easily produce them. And the reason I'm just throwing these units away, I know they're gonna do pretty good 1-2 versus 2-1, and roaches are pretty good against stalkers. So I'm probably not even looking at this right now. We'll see. Wait, player cam. See, I'm not even really checking these guys right now. I'm just like looking back and forth, and at the same time producing 30 more roaches, as well as the 9 corruptors turning into 9 broodlords now. And this I know the game's over at this point. My broodlords, I mean, they're up so quickly because he allowed me to get on 3 base while he sat on 2 base for like an extra 5 minutes. It is 19 minutes into the game. 9 broodlords, pretty darn good at this point in the game versus this army. I mean, he does have high temp. High Templar are pretty good against broodlords, but there's just not enough units to deal with this. He needs Void Rays, Phoenix. He needs something else other than High Templar. High Templar are such a huge investment, and if not used effectively, if you waste storms when you have that many High Templar, it's this early in the game, in other words, is a pretty big deal. You will see, keep your broodlords on a separate hotkey from your army. You're going to want to run I learned this from Sai, you're going to want to run your roaches back and forth under your broodlords, and if they decide to commit against your broodlords, you're going to want to go ahead and attack into their army. We'll see a few storms going down right here, probably 3. One misses pretty bad, hits a couple of broodlords. Those broodlords kind of move into them. But right here, I decided that he can go up in his natural. That's fine. I do want to take out this base. If I take this base out, the game is over. He's pretty much mined out in his natural as well as his main. And I'm on 4 base at this point, taking a 5th. Minerals just soaring through the roof because, I mean, it's hard to spend them at this point if you have 3/3 upgrades. I guess I could have got the other upgrade, but, you know, broodlings, you know, when you have that many units that are endless, then, you know, you can just keep, you don't need upgrades. You don't need upgrades on broodlings. Heal is immortal. He does GG out of the game, and that's just one way. If you're in like diamond, even in platinum, and you see this Forge Fast Expand build from a Protoss, let them have it. Let them have their second base, throw down a third base, macro up, and you're going to be fine just because they get so comfortable. You saw he was just comfortable hanging out on 2 base, finally took his 3rd base, but at that point had a 4th base going up. All 3 bases of mine were fully saturated. The unit, 78 drones, that's about right. You need about 80 in a regular game. So 78 drones, pretty good. He killed one of my broodlords in that battle and quite a few roaches, but I should have had more reinforcing. See, 6 more reinforcing, tons of larvae I could have had. But yeah, guys, pretty good game. I thought I'm gonna go play some more and see how well I do. So appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you next time.